Hey there guys, this is Malorian, and this will be 4 battle reports coming from a Masters trial event I ran last weekend. Of course, there's a brand new package out, so I decided that we'd go and try and test this thing out with a kind of for funsies tournament. Now, in that, I was not able to find a ringer to bring in, and as it turned out, we had an odd number of players. So we were going to have a bye, and so they're going to get the points and the win and all that stuff. However, I thought, hey, instead of having them just standing around doing nothing, why don't I play against them as well? You know, I'm pretty sure I can do a game and TO at the same time, and I decided let's break out Calaban. There's some of you out there that have missed my pink gators, and I always kind of like Calaban. He's different and interesting, and most people have never even faced him, so we're going to be pulling him out here. On the other side here, for my first game, I'm going to be up against a guy named Cam here, and he's going to be running the Harkovic tier. Now, in this one, he is going to be running 4 Decimators. Also, he's going to be running Black Ivan, the Winter Guard, 2 of the field guns, and then also some mechanics. So, lots and lots of armor here. Luckily for me, I have Parasite, so that'll kind of help. But again, I mean, Harkovic can even make that armor skew even higher, and so it can be pretty tough to deal with. Alright, so on my list, I'm running Calaban with a whole bunch of heavies. I am running him with 2 Spitters, a Wrastler, a Swamp Horror, then there's also Wrong Eye and Snapjaw, there's a max unit of Posse, a Totem Hunter, and a Croak Hunter. In the past, I'd use a Bull Snapper instead of the Totem Hunter to get a little bit more of an armor skew, but I thought I would try something different. All the scenarios today will be kill box because I wanted to have faster games. And it's going to be 5 to win. You get 1 for controlling the zone, 2 for dominating, and then you can't do either of those, so you destroy the objective, and destroying the objective is worth 1 as well. Now, in this game, I'm going to try and be looking for 2 things. 1, maybe attrition. If I can force those Decimators to open up attacking my posse, then my heavies can go in and destroy them. So maybe that. At the same time, I'll be looking for something where I slam or whatever, get down his caster and shoot him down with my Spitters. So that'll be the second part. And I mean, really, I'm not going to get scenario. Those little bulldozing jacks will just push their way in no matter what I do. But yeah, we'll see what happens. So I get first turn, I put Stealth onto the Posse because that's awesome. Both Wrong Eye and Snapjaw submerge, and otherwise I'm just getting up there. By the way, the prey target is the Winter Guard, and even though they are the prey target, of course the first thing the Totem Hunter wants to go after are those field guns. So on his turn, he's really just rushing up into the zone here. A lot of his Winter Guard are piled around his Decimators because the Decimators say that you get no blast damage. However, I am loving this because now my Spitters can shoot them and just put corrosion on all of them anyway. So I'm looking forward to that. So in this turn, I really just want to be jamming him, stalling for time, and then maybe get into those field guns. So that's what I do. I have the Croak Hunter run to the left side. Totem Hunter gets in there and kills 2 of the crew from one of the field guns. The shots hit the Decimators and corrosions all over the place. They really do need more corrosion markers in the minion kit. I run out all the time. Otherwise, the other big thing I did here is I drop Stealth, move that now into Calaban, and Snapjaw, you can see, is making a huge play to the left. I really am trying to put a lot of pressure on him, though the Decimator could come over and go after me, but I don't think he has a really great chance of taking me down, and then I could always just like throw him into the water or something, so we'll see what happens here. So what he actually decides to do is go for a little bit of attrition, and it was kind of an interesting turn. So the main thing you want to get down was my objective, so it looks like he's definitely trying to go for scenario. So what he does is that the one on the left goes after the objective, but actually after a couple of shots and stuff and a couple of hits, he leaves it on one box. So he got really unlucky there. He also pulled a very cool interaction where his decimators did slams to me. Now he'd be starting less than 3 inches away, but because he does then the bulldoze, I end up being 3 inches, you know, that the whole thing traveled. So yeah, on the right side, he slammed one gator into another. Decimator number 3 went and killed another gator. He was able to shoot down and kill my totem hunter, but otherwise this isn't too bad. I mean, Decimator 1 and 3 are open. Feet is up, so even though his armor is down, it's now mitigated by the feet adding +3, but I'm pretty sure I can take the 2 down. The one on the left, I can get two heavies on, and then with some help of Parasite, I think I can take down the Decimator number 3 as well. So that's what I do, and it works out pretty well. Between the 2 heavies, I'm able to take down the left jack. Once I get Parasite and a couple of shots into the one on the right, my Wrestler's able to charge over and destroy that. Of course, loving my fuel objective, so free charges for a lot of these things here. But otherwise, yeah, looking pretty good. Doing a little bit more grinding and getting into the face. But yeah, he's down 2 heavies, and all of a sudden attrition is looking a lot better. So on his turn, okay, first of all, I got really lucky. I got really sloppy killing these guys and didn't really think about the whole bulldoze. So if you would have put 3 focus on, well, what is now the left decimator, it could have charged Calaban, pushed the one model out of the way, and just crushed me. I was sitting on 1 transfer, and that probably wouldn't be enough. Now, as it worked out, he didn't give any focus. So instead, the decimator just kind of like got into my face there. Otherwise, the one on the right kills those 2 posse, so I'm down just to 2 posse members now. And that's really all I lose. I don't really lose very much else. So now I'm looking back at attrition again. I do have a lot of terrain between me and Black Ivan, but I feel that if I can pull him in with my Swamp Horror, then I can then get him close enough that Snapjaw can finish him off. So that's going to be my big play. Of course, I got to free up Calaban as well. So although the only open jack is the one on the right, I can't get anything really onto it. So Black Ivan is my goal for this turn. Unfortunately, it doesn't really work out, mainly because I go first with a Croak Hunter, shoot down a mechanic, then I go with a posse, kill some more, and in doing so, the left posse member gets in the way of where I'd need Wrong Eye to go through, so it all really fails. I still go and try and do some damage onto him, and so I do some shots into, or 1 big shot into Black Ivan. The Swamp Horror goes up, drags him in, does some damage, then does some misses, so he moves away. But otherwise, Snapjaw just clears out what's around him. I headbutt the Decimator so that good old Calaban can just run away. And yeah, you know, I didn't really get down my goals, but it's going okay. Meanwhile, on his turn, now I dodge another bullet. He has a spell or whatever that lets him change face with his Decimator. So the Decimator is able to change face and charge Calaban. But luckily, I had gotten far enough away that he was not within range to attack me. So that was nice. Otherwise, the other Decimator on the right runs over to my turtle there to bog it down. And yeah, Black Ivan come over, take a shot. And yeah, just really getting tied up by the posse member up there. So again, looking pretty good. I'm down a posse member that he killed there, but still, now I should be able to take out Black Ivan for sure. I have to do something to keep Calaban alive, but yeah, I mean, I think another turn of attrition here, and I'll be doing really well. And so that's what I go for. The turtle down there tries to throw that Decimator into the forest, and then it like scatters out of the forest, so that was unfortunate. Between Parasite and, I mean, Calaban himself did a lot of damage to that Decimator, and then the turtle comes in and finishes it off, so that was pretty nice of him. Otherwise, two of the jacks going after the Black Ivan was not able to finish him off. Leaves him off in like one box. So I'm actually going to hope that Corrosion kills him. It was a little bit janky and chancy, but I wanted to see if I could do that. Meanwhile, the Crow Hunter running over to tie up the field gun. The last posse member still grinding away. And like I said, things are looking really good now. And it happens. Corrosion kills Black Ivan. So that's awesome for me. And then otherwise in his turn, he can't really do too much. He's able to kill the one posse member there. The Decimator gets up and tries to work his way back. Field gun moves down to block my spitter, but that's really it. Otherwise, on my turn, I try and make a play onto Harkovic. First of all, the turtle went down and tried to throw the Decimator again, but that failed because I didn't get within range. Made a play onto Harkovic, but was not able to kill him, so that was unfortunate, but otherwise, I'm just doing the slow grind. On his turn, again, he's trying to go after Calaban, and that's not going to really work. Actually, what happened here is he was trying to find a way that he could get this guy here to Calaban. Again, trying to get to where you see that marker is, but the way that Bulldoze was, it just could not push my turtle far enough, and so it was a failed charge. So again, you know, I had the turtle in the right spot, and so this one, it was just kind of trying to get there, but Bulldoze sometimes just can't do enough. So otherwise, what really happens is that, you know, Mr. Squidworth here goes after Harkovic, and that's the end of the game. So, going on to game number 3 here, I'm now going to be going up against Brent and his Cray tier. Now, Cray I know very well. This is a different build than I do. This is a tier 4, and I feel that I should be okay against this one too. Now, looking at his full list, he is going to be running 2 units of Rangers, a unit of Blazers, a unit of Mechanics, 2 Hunters, a Defender, and a Stormclad. The scenario here, you can see some rings. I'm now placing down my free swamps. He has a couple of free woods, but there's 2 zones. If you destroy the enemy objective, it's worth 1. I can dominate the close zone for 1, dominate the far one for 2, or control for 1. But you can't, of course, do those until the objective is destroyed. Now, what I'm really planning to do on this one is really just try and get up there. And I know he's going to be able to alpha with his heavies. However, I don't feel too bad about that because he can come in alpha 1, and then once I take out the Stormclad, then I'll be in a very good spot. A lot of his things based off shooting, so Snapjaw and Wrong Eye will just be a nightmare for him. The Stealth Gators will be a nightmare for him. So I'm feeling really good in this matchup. So I get first turn, and I'm going up Submerging. Prey target is the Rangers right now. I put Occultation up onto the Posse again, and wait for him to move into my threat range. You can see there too, I was a little bit foolish with my pools, put them too far up so that I couldn't get into them first turn. So that was a little bit of a derp, but not that big of a deal. Alright, so on his first turn, he's kind of moving up a bit here. A lot of the stuff on the right couldn't shoot anything because everything's stealth and all the rest of it. But he does really focus a lot onto the first turtle there. With all those armor pierce shots and stuff, it really takes a lot of damage. So it's really hurting right now. Otherwise, he has full tilt onto the Stormclad. It's on the other side of the objective to hide from me. And looking at this, I'm actually hoping I can take out 2 heavies. Now, Snapjaw there, he can get into the Defender. And if I roll okay, I should be able to mess up a lot of those guys. By the way, his Black 13th as well. I forgot to mention those guys. But what I can do is after I shoot up that Stormclad a bit to soften it up, the Wrestler can get elasticity from the Swamp Horror, and then I'm pretty sure I can charge past the objective and still have reach. So that's really the plan there. Meanwhile, the Gators, of course, are starting to kill Rangers and fun stuff like that. So that's what I go for, and it goes awesome. So really, Calaban drops Occultation so that he can put it back onto himself. I'm making a little bit of a bunker here, so it's harder for those hunters to shoot me. But, you know, he puts elasticity up onto the Wrestler. He's able to charge over, and after some shots to weaken it up, the Stormclad goes down, so that's massive. I have to go a little bit hot here with Snapjaw. I kept one for a transfer after I submerged a Wrong Eye, so that meant that Snapjaw had to go the full 4 Fury to take down the defender. But hey, you know, either way, it's a second heavy down. I'm feeling great. The Croak Hunter runs into the Hunters because even though they have parry, now I'm taking aim away, so that's something. Kill a whole bunch of the Rangers on the left. Kill 2 of the Rangers on the right and sprint into some others. And again, I'm feeling now extremely well. With those 2 heavies down, I'm pretty sure this is in the bag. So on his turn, he's still kind of working at me. I had done a lot of healing of the turtle that he hurt, and luckily this turn he rolls some pretty bad dice. So he tries to work on that turtle, but does not manage to take it down, so that's pretty good for me. The posse on the left takes a beating, and you know, a lot of guys get hurt. 2 of the posse are down, or well, I'm down to just 3 posse now. Otherwise, yeah, there's not really much else he could do. He tries making some attacks against the Totem Hunter. 1 awesome Ranger actually does 4 damage to him, so that kind of hurt. But otherwise, that's really it. I mean, he did some shots into Snapjaw, did some damage there, but really, he'll be able to heal himself up. So, I mean, at this point here, I'm just going to be looking to keep on grinding away. And, I mean, there's also a possibility that I could be getting Snapjaw to his caster. I mean, I was looking at first of just like killing the 2 hunters and attritioning away, but man, that Snapjaw is so close to Cray, and I can see him, and so if I can just kill off those mechanics in my way, I can get him there. So that's what I go for. I'm able to shoot down the mechanics that are in my way. Then I am able to get Snapjaw there, who of course did not frenzy. But unfortunately, I miss my charge attack, and I leave Cray alive. But that's not too bad. I just keep on killing other stuff. So Totem Hunter kills 2 more, sprints behind the 13th just to tie them all up. The Wrestler is able to destroy 1 Hunter. Meanwhile, my posse kills off 3 of the Blazers. And like I said, I'm only sitting on... I'm camping 2 right now, and I'm feeling really safe. I mean, I feel that at this point he'd have to get pretty lucky to kill Calaban. So he does go for it. I mean, the Hunter taking a shot, he has to put that mage sight there so he can see past my stealth, tries to take some shots, but it really just uses up my transfers, and now, as you can see, Cray is right out there in the open. And so I had a lot of options, and so what I do first is I say, okay, I'm moving over 1 spitter, and I'm going to hiss. And then I'm going to move over another spitter, and I'm going to hiss. He's like, what are you talking about? What do you mean hissing? Well, I was really just getting out of the way so that Calaban could charge, because, I mean, Calaban never kills anything. So Calaban charges, he has the same thing as Scar, where I can take a damage to get an additional die of damage as well. And so he does that and takes down Cray. So again, I really felt that this was a matchup that I had the advantage in, shooting against a lot of stealth and submerge. But hey, go Calaban. Alright, we're now into game 3, and now we are up against Butcher. And this is a Butcher tier, and man, this Khador and their high armor just keep on picking on me. And really what he has in his list is... it's a very interesting one here, where I believe it's a tier 4 again, something high tier, but he has 2 units of pikemen, both with UA. He has 2 of the Kobniks, 2 Decimators. He has the War Dog. He also then has his Ulans, and also the Solo there too. Can't remember the Solo's name, but a really interesting high armor list. Now the Ulans, the pikemen, I have a perfect answer to, and that's my Spitters. I can shoot them, I can put corrosion on them, and that'll really do a lot of work. However, there's a lot of threats coming at me all at once, and really no shooting that I need to really care about. So what I'm actually hoping I can do is do this one for scenario. I am hoping to hold off those pikemen on the left and then score on my defensive flag. By the way, the scenario again, you win by 5, dominate the close flag for 1, control the far one for 1, dominate for 2. So that's what I'm really going for. Butcher is really dangerous, and so on feat turn, if I'm not careful, he can just destroy almost all my heavies in one go. So I'm going to have to be super careful in this matchup. Alright, so I get first turn. I'm Submerged on the right for whatever crazy reason. I also put Occultation on myself, more out of habit. But I also put up Carnivore up on the Wrestler, just so that he'll be a little bit better at hitting. On his turn, he puts Iron Flesh. Okay, after he moves up in shield walls, thanks to the Kovniks, he goes and he puts Iron Flesh onto the right unit. And that's going to make them really, really hard to hit. So that's why I kind of had that there for the Wrestler. But looking at this here, I need to slow down those Ulans on the left. So a couple of models will just run up and get in the way. Meanwhile, I'm going to try and really focus on the Ulans on the right, hitting with my spitters, getting in that corrosion. And his Ulans got way too close, and so hopefully Snapjaw can kill 2 or 3 of those models as well. And if I can do that, that'll really take the punch out of them. So that's what I go for. It doesn't totally all go to plan. You can see there that a Totem Hunter is able to move up. That's his prey target, by the way. But he's actually able to kill the commander of that left unit. So I don't need to worry about Iron Zeal anymore. He also kills a couple of other things. But one Gator charges in, kills one model. He's tying up there as well. So that's really nice. Meanwhile, I shoot in a couple of shots into the pikemen on the right. Get a lot of corrosions out there. I think there's 5 models that have corrosion on them right now. Croak Hunter getting in the way of the rest. Snapjaw, who I really thought would be able to kill 3, only killed 2. I mean, it's not bad, and I'm just hoping now he can tank it and keep on killing after this. On his turn here, he fails every single corrosion. So there's like half the unit down right there. And on his turn, he has a pretty good counter charge. So he is able to kill off the Totem Hunter. He is able to not kill the posse on the left. I mean, that posse had up there in the way. I thought that guy was dead for sure. But either way, he's now going to be going for Iron Zeal with the unit on the right. Of course, that Croak Hunter died really, really easy. The other thing that died really easy that I was surprised of is, man, those Ulans crushed Snapjaw. Like, just totally crushed him. And then the solo was very, very close to getting a charge on Wrong Eye as well. So lucky they at least have him, but things are now looking a little bit different, or difficult. I mean, he's really starting to get around that flag there. I need to be pushing back, but again, now that those Ulans are freed up, if I get too deep into those Ulans, or into the pikemen, man, I keep on messing up those names, he'll have a devastating counter charge. So I'm going to be very careful here and do what I can. I was wondering at first if I had a slam opportunity here, but I have to kill the dog first, and he's camping quite a bit as well. So on my turn, it goes not too bad. The posse on the left is able to kill a good number of the pikemen. Not as many as I'd hoped, but an okay number. Meanwhile, the Swamp Horror does a critical catastrophic damage and takes out a column from the one Devastator, so that's something. Meanwhile, I get corrosion onto all the remaining pikemen, so hopefully that will go well too. I charge in with Wrong Eye, hoping to kill at least one more. He kills 0. So that's not good, and now I'm just hoping to survive. I mean, if he... Like I said, this is probably going to be the perfect time for him to feat and kill off like 3 heavies if you really wanted to. So Corrosion again does amazing, and he fails every single one, and now pikeman number 2 completely gone. You know, some people hate on the Ironback Spitters, but that continuous corrosion sometimes just pays out in spades. Meanwhile, he does have a pretty good counter. The little Muson Minis thing, that's where his other Devastator is right now. This kind of pushed me away. And he was actually more aggressive on Scenario than he was on Attrition. So he did not pop feet. And really, he just got butchered there to start dominating my flag. Kills off some posse from the left. I don't think he makes any attacks with any of his Decimators. I don't believe so. Definitely the ones in my face didn't. And then otherwise, he kills Wrong Eye, and the Ulan Solo runs over. Now, luckily, when we measure it out, not only was a swamp horror barely in to contest, that spitter was in there to contest as well. So he is not up 2 points, but now I have to be very careful because I got a freaking butcher in my face, and I need to start killing some things off. And in fact, I'm hoping that if I can be attritioning enough on the left, that maybe I can start getting to his flag. So that's what I do. I go for some big attrition. I'm able to kill off one of the Kovniks, not the other one, but he's down to only one member of the pikemen, just the flag guy. So that's really good. The decimator there actually had opened up to attack the swamp horror, so I was able to, with of course Parasite, smash it pretty easily. Otherwise, what I did with the other decimator is I just two-handed throwed it through his lines and into Butcher, so that worked out well. They're both knocked down. One of the turtles had actually frenzied and like hit the other turtle or whatever, but yeah, this is actually now not looking too bad. It still is a big grind, and he has all those Ulans that haven't come in yet, but you know, it's looking okay. So on his turn, the Ulans are coming on over. He's able to come over with Butcher and kill my swamp horror like nothing. He gets really unlucky and he misses my posse, so I lose nothing there on the left. That was pretty nice. The decimator gets back in my grill. He does a little stab with his solo, but he's really being here where, I mean, Butcher is here threatening me big time. But now I'm thinking that because he's so ground down on the left, that I might be able now to sneak through there. So what my plan is to kill those two models, and in doing so, kind of make a little defensive line. I need to try and kill off all these Ulans so that they won't be able to run over and contest. And basically, if I leave everything, if I only leave him with the Decimator and Butcher, I don't think he can stop me from winning from scenario. So that's really what I do. The posse go over, and first, I mean, that's my hit confirm. They're able to kill off that Kovnik and also the banner, so that's awesome. With Elasticity and also Parasite, the Wrestler is able to go up and kill off all the Ulans, so that's great. And then really, I just needed to use the turtles to kill off the solo. Actually, the third Ulan was shot down by a turtle. But yeah, all of a sudden now, all he has is Butcher and the Decimator. Calaban runs over to dominate his flag, so I'm 2-0. And as you can see there, Butcher is close, like tantalizingly close, but because I'm in his back arc, he can't charge me, and he only really has like his one gun in Obliteration, and with one transfer, he just can't kill me with that. So really, he just comes over here with Butcher, shakes his fist, and that's the game. So Calaban, 3-0, doing pretty good so far. Oh, and I never mentioned this player here. His name is Curtis. So the other nice thing has been so far is that, I mean, all three of these first players, I almost never get to play against. So as much of it's just like fun because I'm doing Calaban and I almost never get to play Calaban, two of these players, it was my first time playing, and the other one was only my second time playing. So this is also a fun thing too. All right, last game here is going to be up against a guy named Michael and his Convergence. He is going to be running a, oh, what's her name? Like, the Angel one. Man, I should be able to remember these things. Aurora, there you go. And I faced Michael before in his Aurora list, but this is a lot different. This one is more of kind of like a recursion, slow grind, set up the assassination type thing. So what it has is 2 units of the shield guards, has 2 of the recursion bots behind them. He has the monitor there on the left. He has the guys there with cleanse to clear things out. And of course you'll have angels in either flank and, you know, all the fancy sneaky convergence things. But this will be another interesting game. I am not very good with having to deal with these recursion things, and I'm going to kind of hope that either my spitters can shoot them down or that I can take out a whole unit at once, maybe with Parasite, but it's going to be kind of a tough one. So the scenario one here is first to 5. You get 1 for controlling a flag, 2 for dominating, but the enemy flag contests, and that one, if you destroy it, gets you 1 as well. So really, like I said, I want to try and kill off these angels early, and then after that, just try and wait and see what I can line up. So he gets first turn this time, and his angels are swooping over both flanks. Everything else just, moving up. On my turn, I'm able to get in and kill one angel on the left. The one on the right, I just had to ignore. I'm going up and I'm submerging. I have actually occultation, not on the posse, but on myself, just because I'm a little bit more worried about caster kill in this one. I put carnivore out and then realized, oh yeah, nothing's living really. But I'm really just being very cautious and then hoping to really counterattack. So on his turn, his Clockwork Angels try and do some work on the right, but don't really get anything done. On the left side, they come up, do some shots, move, down and around, and then he makes a big play on me. I didn't think he had the threat, but because one of his lights, it gives him +2 to distance to charge, so he makes a big play on my Wrestler. Now, he only gets 2 in there for the charge, but the biggest thing here is that they're not shield wall, and 3 of them are right in my face. So my big plan now is to kill off that entire unit on the left. So I'm going to go and try and kill them. I'm going to try and just stall with the unit on the right, which is in shield wall, and then hopefully kill off as many angels as I can. If all the angels die and I kill off that one shield guard unit on the left, shield wall unit rather, that's going to be my big success. And I pull it off. So, between the Totem Hunter doing his stabs and all that stuff, I do it. I then move my prey target to his cleanse guys. I put elasticity up, and I'm able to kill off all the guys that are in my grill on the left. The 2 spitters shoot down the ones that are further back. So that unit is completely gone. I got some posse, which is holding up his other unit. And then meanwhile, I use, Snapjaw, Wrong Eye, and a posse member to kill off the angels on the right. So killing off their angels are massive. That's really hurting his assassination game. His recursion game is cut in half. And now, I think what my big plan will be is to really push my weight around for the left flag and try and score over there. So on to his turn now. His guys there with, cleanse come in, and he's really hoping that he can kill off those gators and then charge further out. Now the problem is that their rat is horrendous, and that while I'm engaged, I have unyielding. Now between all this, he really gets nothing done and really kills his clock. So all of a sudden, I'm actually thinking I'm just going to stall this one out for scenario and death clock. I feel now I can really grind away on the left, and if nothing else, I believe at this point here, he has like 12 minutes to my 38, so I'm in a fantastic spot for death clock. So looking at this scenario here, my goals are really just to clear out as much as I can from the left. If I can kill the little recursion bot on the left with the swamp horror, that'd be awesome. I'm also hoping I can move up and shoot the one on the right, but we'll see what I can pull off. So unfortunately, one of my spitters frenzies and punched the other spitter, so that kind of takes some punch out of my sails. Otherwise, I am able with the swamp horror to do what I need on the left, so that was awesome. I'm able to kill off a whole bunch of these little cleanse infantry with the Totem Hunter, who then sprints to get even deeper into there. I'm camping 2, and I'm feeling really, really good. Wrong Eye gets in there, and I'm not even trying to kill these guys. I'm just trying to really damage them so that later on I could try and kill them, but I'm not going to bother until I kill off the other recursion thing there, which I already shot once and did a little bit of damage to. So again, I am looking really good on attrition, really good on clock, and feeling great. And then Aurora does her thing. So she really had to try and find what was the best way to do this so that she wouldn't take a free strike. But she is able to charge into the right side of the Wrestler, or was it even the Spitter, so that she avoided the Swamp Horror reach. Does one little hit. Yeah, that was on the Spitter. And then is able to refuge over, get to me, and then flashing blade, and the big thing here that was the final nail in the coffin is that those little drones, those little flying drones that shoot and mark, I thought they only did +2 to hit for range, Well, there were also +2 to hit for melee. So, I mean, I could have been trying to kill these little things for a while now, but I just did not see them as a big threat. And that +2 to hit made it so that on Aurora's last attack, she was able to kill Calaban. So, falling at the end here, but either way, it was a really fun day of games. Really loving Calaban. A list like this is just a lot of fun to play. You know, you get so many different elements, and a lot of people have just never saw Calaban before. Now, you may have noticed that during the whole day, I never popped my feet because it was never really super worth it, and it's almost more of an inconvenience to try and bother with. But yeah, lots of fun, and thanks for watching. Bye.